Hello, everybody, and welcome to Harry and Jen Do Horror with Friends. On this podcast, we pick newish horror films to analyze, critique, and discuss with a pal. This month, Jen and I sit down with my lovely wife, Katharina, to discuss Season 1 of Widow's Bay. We discuss colonialism, the Monster of the Week format, Jen's goth aversion to the beach, Kat's color-coded notes, witches, the perils of horror comedy, and much more. You should know that on this podcast, we completely spoil our movies and shows, so if you have not seen the entire first season of Widow's Bay yet, be sure to check it out first. I mean, literally actually stop this podcast right now because the first couple of seconds of this conversation involves a spoiler. So watch out for that, okay? We've gotten so much nice feedback on this show over the 3 years that we have been at it, and I really want to thank all of you who have taken a moment to rate and review us. People have really shown up on Spotify and YouTube in particular, and one platform that we could use more help with is Apple Podcasts. So if you happen to be hearing us through Apple Podcasts, please consider helping us out by writing a nice review, throwing some stars our way. Doing so helps people find our podcast, and it feels good to make something that we know that you like. We have a bunch of fun movies coming down the pike. We'll talk about The Shark Romp Thrash. We'll talk about Evil Dead Burn. We'll talk about Jane Schoenbrun's new film, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. More in the next couple of months. I'll be perfectly honest with you. All of these interviews are kind of happening all at once. I'm not totally sure exactly which months they're going to come out, so keep an eye peeled for those conversations and give us a follow to stay abreast of things. While I'm plugging away here, I want to take a moment to shamelessly plug my new thing. My band, Noon 15, is about to drop a record called Finish What You Started, which features a bunch of songs about vampires, haunted houses, imposters, and other such spooky stuff. The first single is out now. It's called Imposter, wherever you stream music. It is fun. You should hear it. You can find that linked in the show notes as well. I also want to take a moment to plug a lovely horror blog called Old Style Tales Press, which gives reviews and analysis for all sorts of scary stuff, and which I find to be an incredible trove of perspectives on horror literature. If you are an analytical nerd like me, stop on down to Old Style Tales Press blog, linked in the show notes. All right, for now, let's hear from Kat about Widow's Bay Season 1.
Na 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 na. Evan has to die.
I love it. I love that you were waiting
That
over
was
there
great,
to do
yeah.
it.
Hi everybody, I am Harry Nichols. I am a singer-songwriter. I am an English teacher who is on his summer vacation. And let's see. Oh, I actually wanted to throw a question. I know this is I'm breaking protocol. Normally
Unconventional.
but I wanted to throw a
Unheard
question, which is maybe we can kind of go around and talk about what do you think about, and this is segueing into our thing. What do you think about beach vacations? How do we feel about a beach vacay? You know, are we for it? Are we against it? I'm personally for it. I love a good beach vacay. I like them cheap. I like them expensive. I like them all the ways they come. What do you think? Sound up. Tell us who you are and say.
All right. Well, hi everyone. I'm Jen Lightfoot. I'm a tattoo artist and artist, and I am not on break from working. Still working. Okay, but beach vacations. I don't really like the beach. I don't like sand, and I'm not a good swimmer, so I don't like to go to the ocean. I like the boardwalk. Sun is my enemy.
Right.
So an example of that, when I was in high school, I was on the beach with my friends, and I had pants, long sleeves, a hat. I was under the umbrella, and I had sunblock on, and I still got burned.
No, how?
It's a great question. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I didn't want to stare at you. I kind of felt like you might not like beach vacays, which is kind of why I asked this question. But I didn't want to stereotype you just for being goth. You know what I mean? But it feels
I love it.
Yeah.
It's fitting for many reasons. I'm also not a fan of summer, just in general. I've already, did I mention this on one of the podcasts already, that I have 40 mosquito bites?
Oh my
40?
God.
Yeah.
Wait, have you counted?
Well, 40 plus. I don't have them right now. I did count them because I'm insane. But I had,
Like this season?
yeah, it was the first night out watching a movie outside, and I woke up the next morning. I knew I had a lot, but I counted like 40 plus. It kept changing.
Oh my God.
Oh
So, yeah.
my goodness. I'm so sorry. I guess that's me.
That's
It is.
you.
I'm Kat Nichols. I am an instructional coach, and I do math. And I did not grow up doing beach vacations, but I've married into beach vacations.
And who did you marry? Just for the good people?
I married you.
You're my wife.
I do like a beach vacation. I do like summer and sun and swimming. But I think I prefer a pool to a beach. Like, I love the beach. I'm not trying to say let's not go to the beach or pretend I don't love it. But, like, the seaweed and, like, you can't see what's in the water. I like a big, clean, clear pool.
Got you.
But I'll still go and enjoy the beach. However, channeling you, I dress like an old lady at the beach. I have like swimming shorts and like a turtleneck that goes also down to my wrists so that I do not burn and I don't have to re-up on sunscreen, because I find that when I go to the beach, this doesn't seem to happen. I spend the whole summer outside, teacher privileges. I spend the whole summer outside. I wear sunscreen. It's fine. For some reason, at the beach, no matter how many times I reapply, I just burn. And so now I just dressed from head to toe.
That's so smart. And then you don't have to think about it.
Exactly.
It is great. And actually now
And I look so cool.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, now I'm the odd man out, like, in our family. Because, like, our son was terrified of sunscreen. And so he, too, would wear, like, you know, like, swim trunks and, like, a long swimming shirt. Our daughter does the same. And now Kat does the same. And so really, like, I'm the one lagging. I should just get on board.
And who was the only one who got a sunburn last summer?
It was me.
Are you learning anything yet?
No. I've learned nothing.
You need to get on board with the rest of the family.
Absolutely. So I bring up the beach because here we are talking about, we're doing something very different. Like,
Yeah, it is very different.
Never on this podcast have we talked about a TV show before.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dum, dum, dum.
Have we really never?
Didn't
No.
you do one?
I thought we did one.
We did, okay, so we did, for a Halloween episode, we did an episode of the Goosebumps show that actually started as like a standalone, like, movie, like made for TV movie that became an episode of the show. But I don't think that we've done another show.
I guess maybe you're right.
I don't think so, because I was just thinking about it, because we did two bizarre episodes lately where it was like we talked about books, and now today we're talking about TV instead of a movie, and so
All horror related.
it's all
But
But anyway, all that to say, we're talking about Widow's Bay today, which is season 1 is the only season out at the moment.
but it's been renewed
It has.
for season 2.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Kat, can you give us just, like, don't go blow by blow, episode by episode, but what's the big idea with Widow's Bay? If you were going to describe it to somebody.
It's all over the place. My take on the big idea of Widow's Bay is that it is like a comedy horror show wherein each episode has this, like, there's an overarching storyline, but every episode is like a horror movie trope. And I think that's very interesting. And given that, it's surprising how genuinely hilarious this show is. It's so funny.
It's very funny.
Comedy horror is not a usual combination that succeeds.
No,
Totally.
agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is
We have varying opinions on this.
differing opinions on comedy horror, but you're
Really?
right that it is kind of a
Unsuccessful.
no. I think a lot of it is successful, but it's
It
touch and go.
tries.
It's
It
touch and go.
tries.
But this, like, succeeds, I feel like.
You're right.
It's, like, somehow Lost and Parks and Rec.
Yes,
And
yes.
all
Yes.
Scream and 1408 and, like,
Yes.
all at the same time.
It really is I did not know it was going to be a comedy. So when it
okay, I got you.
when it started, I was like, this is funny. Is this meant to be funny? And then I was like, oh, this is really funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm into it. And when you said Parks and Rec, I have been thinking like The Office and like those, not that they're those like first person vibe, but it's like, it's that tone.
Yeah.
The cringe.
It's just the
kind of-
vibe, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. So it's like the word that I've heard used for it is the municipal comedy,
Oh,
which
I
is
haven't heard
like
that.
which is very much Parks and Rec, and that makes sense because Kate Dippold, the showrunner, wrote for Parks and Rec, and as a matter of fact, an early version of this script was what got her the job on Parks and Rec. So this whole thing has been a thing that's been like percolating and that she's been tending to for like a very long time. Which I think is part of what gives it some of its like dimension and like realness. You know, it feels real. Like, just the way that Tom struggles with these like kind of small town, like apathetic people around him, like it strikes me as very real and relatable. I don't know.
The one character who it's the one who does the genealogy research.
Oh, Rosemary.
Yes.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
Like she walked off the set of Parks and Rec and like walked on to the set
Yes,
of Rose Band.
yes,
Like
absolutely.
that's who
Yes.
that character is.
The thing about a show like Parks and Rec is like the humor is about the mundane, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about the like day-to-day people just going into their jobs, clocking in and clocking out, and being very bored by it and not giving a shit about it, and the humor that arises from that. But here we're juxtaposing it with like very much not the ordinary, right? Like very much
Yes.
not the mundane.
It's like
Again, it's the
taking
supernatural.
the ordinary and putting like the supernatural into it.
Yeah.
In a way, like What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Kind of fits that because it feels like very mundane at times, like
Yes.
the roommates.
Yes.
But it's like they're,
I actually can't believe that I didn't think to compare it to What We Do in the Shadows.
I
But I
didn't
think
either.
you're absolutely right about that.
I didn't either until right now. So
It's exactly the same brand of comedy, isn't it? It's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's really funny. So we've got our main character. His name is Tom. He is the mayor of Widow's Bay. It is his quest to like bring Widow's Bay into the 21st century. You know, despite its bizarre happenings and hauntings and monsters and strange, deranged history and like all of this. My analysis question that I wanted to bring to the table is like, what do we think about like how much can we sympathize with Tom?
You asked me this question in advance.
And now you have
And
an
I
answer.
prepared some.
yes.
What I have prepared is a graph.
Oh my god.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
Wait,
That's
Jen,
going
take a-
on the
take a
Instagram.
picture of that.
Yeah. Hold on.
I was wondering if this would happen.
That's amazing.
Okay, so it's Tom's struggle over time, and it goes up and down.
Boy, does it.
On the sympathy for Tom axis, it ranges from fuck that asshole to my poor baby. So we start up when he just wants to do well by his town and bring in some money, but then we go down because he needs to keep an eye on his son, but he chooses to stay in a haunted hotel instead. And is like, here, random person I work with, you watch my son. And then I felt bad for him in the like mermaid episode when he picked up hitchhikers. And then he like lost his shot at love because he thought she was a sea demon.
Yeah.
And she was actually like genuinely interested in him. He drops real low when he doesn't show up at Patricia's party.
Well, because he was being attacked by a sea hag, but
Yeah, I still was mad at him
possibly
though.
wet.
Because nobody went to her party.
Yeah.
So you feel bad.
Yeah.
No, but then people went to her party.
Oh, then people went
we
to
gotta
the
talk
party.
about the
Yeah.
party. I did feel bad for him when he was accidentally drugged. But then I got mad at him again when he let the zombie out of the crate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot
Come
about
on.
that.
Well,
He's
yeah.
like, I already did it. I'm going through this real fast. There's a lot to discuss here.
Yeah, we're gonna stick this on the. You'll see. Check out our Instagram, and you'll see the full detailed graph.
I felt bad for him when he lied to his kid, but then as he tries to kill an old lady at the end to start not feeling bad for him anymore.
Totally, yeah.
So yeah, it really just goes up and down.
I
love
appreciate
this.
your representation of information there. That's,
Yeah.
that's
Thank
very
you.
nice.
And it's
Data,
artistically
baby.
done, too.
Thank you. I try.
His character is giving me Michael Scott from The Office.
Oh, interesting.
Because as you watch him, he's like lovable, awful.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
like he's sexist and says awful,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, racist,
Yeah.
fatphobic things.
Yeah.
And yet,
Then he's so sweet.
yes, exactly. So I feel like the mayor kind of has those vibes at times where he means well, he's sweet, but he's kind of like living in his own reality. In a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like he's a little bit disconnected from
Yes.
the island and what's really there.
But he knows. He knows. He like admitted to Ruth after he like tried to kill her.
right.
That like he has known since before his son was born.
Totally.
And he was just like, nah, you guys are crazy.
And he brought tourists anyway, right? This is
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying.
It's like Jaws, right?
Yes, exactly. This is a
The
great
mayor in Jaws.
Yeah, great comparison is the mayor in Jaws who like knows that there's danger, but he's just like the money, the tourism, right? And I guess that's part of my reservation about Tom Loftus as well, is that if his motivation was solely about getting the infrastructure on the island fixed up and getting cell reception, right? Really kind of moving it into these kind of like basic standard of living things in the 21st century. I would feel more sympathetic towards him, but that's not what he wants, right? What he wants is to make it Martha's Vineyard. He wants to turn, and like he has this like strong visceral reaction when that New York Times reporter says like this could be the next Martha's Vineyard. He has this outrageous like moment at the table, and it's like no, like that's what you want, right? Like what he wants is to like gentrify this island. I know that the show is not really like, I don't really think it's engaging too much with questions of like gentrification in an explicit way, but just like knowing how that goes for me it's like hard for me to get behind
Because he's trying to capitalize on, like,
Exactly.
he's literally trying to just make money off of it. And when you said how he is excited when the guy says it, it's also like when the newspaper article comes out, he makes Patricia read it twice, like
Right.
even though it's just one line,
right,
that like
just the part about being the next Martha's
yeah,
Vineyard.
exactly. But like he wants to hear it so bad, like he doesn't
Yeah.
care that the island doesn't actually have those things to offer
Absolutely.
either. Like,
Right, and I think a lot of the changes that he's making, like some of the changes that he's making on the island, feel very artificial. Like there's a great scene in the first episode where he's in a coffee shop and he's sipping this like latte espresso thing. Or you're both nodding your head, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where he's like, "This is what Widow's Bay should taste like," and the guy behind the counter is like, "I'm not selling any of these like latte drinks." Like he's like, "The tourists are coming. They're
but
coming,
like
right?"
this local guy's business is basically going to go out of business.
Right,
But he
right.
doesn't give a shit because it's like just what he wants for the supposed tourists that are going to come in.
And like Jenna, I feel like you want to a little bit characterize him as this kind of like greedy, like
He's not though. I think
Monopoly
he's just
man.
dumb.
I don't
I
think
he's
that's
dumb.
I think he's dumb in that he doesn't understand his own motivations, right?
Well, I think he's like largely motivated by his son. Like,
Yeah.
he wants to take his son off the island.
Yeah,
he
he does.
knows he can't, even
Yeah.
though he like for a while too tries
Right.
to like pretend he's going to.
Right.
And so I think he views it as a way to like broaden his son's world,
Like bring the outside
Right.
world to
Yeah.
him. Yeah, yeah. I definitely see
Like
that.
I do think that is a motivator for him.
Oh, interesting. So in a way, like his motivations are still, they may not be necessarily financial in nature, but they are ultimately selfish, right? It is ultimately like, let me put all these people at risk so that I can like improve the standard of living for my son, which is, as a dad, like I guess I understand something of where that's coming from, but like it's not the trolley problem, right?
I was gonna say they do
Like-
call it right to that, but like you could even say that he costs a lot of the stuff for
Absolutely.
his son. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it was a secret before his son was born, and he tried to bring his wife off the island anyway, and ultimately that led to her downfall. Like she had a stroke on the boat, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a little bit his doing.
Yeah. So like ironically, he doesn't he's not switching the trolley from the mass to the single. What he's done is like switched it from the single, which is his son, to the mass, which is like all of these people that he's brought to this island and
that's
like in
true.
danger, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. So I don't begin on your chart, Kat. Just like thinking about bringing it back to your chart. He starts lower for me. I think than you have him, and I think it's a matter of perspective. But like I don't love it.
How does he start lower for you?
Because I think his motivations are fundamentally selfish. And I think that he's a combination of self-deluding and just, like plain old, like selfish and denialistic, and that's not a word, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. We can make up words on that.
It's my podcast. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, coming to the point where it kind of occurred to me too at the end of the season, right, where we've talked about how it's kind of like a monster of the week kind of thing, kind of almost like X-Files, or like almost like where like he is the monster of the week in the last episode of
completely.
Totally, where he's gonna like murder this
sweet old lady
who has such a fulfilled
lady.
life. She's got this huge calendar that's all decked out, and like
every day she helps Deirdre up and down those stairs.
she's running 2 miles every day, and she
You and me both. I just ran 2 miles.
So Jen, you said this question earlier. That is the show saying anything about repeating history, since the island is a literal loop repeating itself?
Yeah.
And I wonder, can you just elaborate a little bit more on what you mean by that? Like,
Okay, so we go back to, is it the 1800s?
No, the
1700s.
like early
1700s.
1700s.
That's right, yeah. And just showing, like, that these things have happened before, and then there's also that video on the projector about like sacrificing people to the island, essentially. So there's like, we don't know everything about the island, and we can talk more about that and my worries about it being like lost.
Like lost,
That like film reel was very losty.
It was, and I was like, please, let's go back to that sometime, because I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I feel like there is little moments that we're seeing where, okay, all these people have been through this before in different ways.
Totally.
So like, not that they haven't learned anything, but the question is, have they learned anything? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like they're still making errors and like injuring people and hurting people, which does that reflect our history, just as humans? Tegan told me this. I didn't read it, so I'm going to paraphrase and quote this incorrectly. But the director, or Kate, not the director, Kate
Dippold.
Yep, had said something about like wanting to represent men who are in charge of like it's not quite the word in politics,
like patriarchal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I feel like that fits with the history aspect of it too. I'm not really sure. That's why I wanted to ask the questions to see if you guys thought anything. Or saw anything. But yeah,
I think that there is definitely like some cyclical structure here. But like when Richard Warren ate those mushrooms, that's when he like communed with worse than the devil, or whatever they describe it as, right? And so like then he's like shouting when they're trying to bury him alive. They're like, he's like, fulfill the pact and the plague will stop, a life for a life. So when he eats the mushrooms, after Sarah, his wife, is there, the bell tolls 5 times. So that means that the island demands 5 lives. Right. And then Tom drank the mushrooms, and then the bell tolled 8 times.
Like at the end of the show.
At the very end of the show.
I didn't catch the different.
And so I feel like the parallels between like Richard Warren as a leader and like I think he did actually care about his children, because like when he was being buried alive, he was like, "Don't! Why are you taking my kids off the island? You'll kill them all."
Right.
Yeah. So like he also, I think, cares about his children, but you don't see it because he's like too obsessed with other things.
Yeah.
And Tom also is too obsessed with other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his kid like almost gets in a lot of trouble because of that. And so I just think it's interesting that they both like took these shrooms.
Yeah.
And then these bells tolled.
I love that we're comparing, like, because something that I am immediately thinking about is like comparisons between Richard Warren, the original mayor of Widow's Bay, and Tom, the current mayor. And I do think that there are some like striking similarities there, right? I think that they are both kind of like wielding power in a lot of the same ways and a lot of the same, like, you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet point of view. He clearly is willing to kill and to morally compromise himself for what he sees as like the better good of the island. In the same way that Tom is. I kind of think the only difference between the two of them is that like Richard Warren is like literally immortal and like scarier. Like Tom is more like personable and relatable, just like in the way he looks and the way he carries himself. But I do think that they're like really kind of similar. I do think it's kind of an interesting study of like just like comparing the mayors and like that's like part of the like municipal statement of the show.
I mean, I think Richard Warren also is confident in what the island is doing and what he has to do, and he doesn't care about having to sacrifice people, whereas Tom is just in denial. And really only wants to kill somebody when it benefits his son. So it's not like he wants people to die. Like, I don't know if he would be up to the task. Not that it's a task. I don't know if he'd want to sacrifice. I don't know what he would do if he learned he had to sacrifice people. Because I don't think he knows that.
Yeah, because Richard Warren seems fine with that.
Yeah, he seems like great. Awesome.
He's like, let me peace out on my wedding night because I got to go feed some people to the monster underneath the island, right? So just thinking a little bit too, like just to come back to like cyclical history and things kind of coming back again and again and again. Something that I have been thinking about a little bit with this show is just the idea of like colonization. We don't get a direct representation of like indigeneity on this show. Like we have no like indigenous people on this show, but I do think that this show is kind of saying something about the like fundamental mission of colonialism, which is natural resource extraction, right? You have these like people who have landed at Widow's Bay back in the 1700s and seek to establish a settlement there. They're going to be using those resources, and in order to do it, like there is this kind of like monster at the bottom of this island that seems to me like I'm not saying that it is like a representation of indigenous people, because I don't want to say that they're monsters or like evil gods or something like that, but like it is indigenous in nature, right? Like it is like it was there before they got there,
and they took over the island and took over its home and its space,
right? And so it's like, you know, in exchange for letting them survive, it is like exacting like a blood toll, right? And it continues to do that kind of all throughout history. And so that's something that I see, that idea like connecting to the modern day parts of the show too, where you have Tom, and I'll come back again to this idea of like gentrifying the island and turning it into Martha's Vineyard, right? Where now we have all of these locals who, you know, feel for all intents and purposes like as though they are kind of the people who have been there for a long time. And again, this is not something that the show is like talking about directly, but that if you know anything about gentrification, you know that if Tom were to succeed, they're about to be like priced out of their own island, right?
Yeah.
So like,
well, and he draws class issues into play. I mean,
totally.
He literally like calls Wick a dumb hick.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And like then is kind of cast aside from this, and like people don't like him at the outset because he's not native to the island.
He's not. He's a tourist. Something that well, we did Barbarian like 2 years ago. We talked about Barbarian. And something that Mandy had said in that conversation that is something that continues to ring true for me now, just in this vein of like colonialism and post-colonialism, is like this idea of the land kind of resisting. We talked about how the Brightmoor area in Barbarian like feels kind of like barren in an almost like an enchanted way. Like people don't, like it doesn't want people to be there. And so like I was getting so many vibes from the sort of monster of the weakness of Widow's Bay that were kind of ringing those same bells for me, where it's like the island doesn't want Tom to succeed. The island doesn't want this, right?
Trying to push him out of
like
that.
trying to stop him from succeeding, right? Right? Like here's a sea hag. Yeah. Right, and you know, here's a haunted mansion with a killer clown in it, or haunted inn with a killer clown in it.
Oh,
right?
that one was great. Yep.
And then the last thing that I kind of want to say on this, look at how some of this is working. Like, I do find it kind of interesting and effective that, like, the monster has to toll a church bell to express its needs. Right? Like, because, like, that's so much of, like, how indigeneity kind of has to survive in, like, a colonized world, right? Where you have to, like, adopt the codes of, you know, white supremacy and the colonizer, and then, like, in turn, use those to express things that are, like, satisfying your needs, right? And again, like, I hesitate too much to say that, like, this Cthulhu-y god at the bottom of the island is, like, indigenous people, but, like, it did strike me as kind of, like, an interesting comparison, and that maybe it is not an entirely negative thing either, right? Because, like, if it is this sort of, like, timeless, again, I'll use the Cthulhu type god, like, that is a powerful thing, right? That's like an unstoppable, permanent thing. So if it did represent that, while I have reservations, I don't, like, I can kind of see how it could be empowering in a way. Kat, you have a thought?
I think that there's a lot of religion kind of seeped throughout this show.
Yeah.
And I think that it was funny when, at the beginning, Tom and the priest were in a bar, and the priest was like, Bible, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I thought was pretty
that.
funny, and I thought was, like, indicative of their, like, friendship. Like, I felt like it did a good job of illustrating the fact that, like, they were like, had been friends for a long time. But I also thought it was interesting, just, like, in the flashback episode, there's a scene where Richard Warren is there and Sarah comes down and his hands are pierced.
Yeah.
And he's, like, bleeding from the hands.
Oh, he's got the white eyes too. He's
got the white eyes, which we later saw with Shep.
Yep.
But also he's, like, bleeding from the hands. And it's like, how did that happen? And then he was also, like, buried from the dead, alive and raised from the dead.
That's
and I'm
true.
like, how are we painting him as a Jesus figure?
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
that's interesting.
Kind of
And,
like
he
an
saved-
Antichrist figure.
Right,
Yeah.
he saved, like, through whatever weird, mysterious thing he did, he is the reason people are able to live there.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
And I just think there are just some interesting parallels.
I'll be interested to see if Tom emerges as quite the same kind of sacrificial vibes too. You know what I mean? I'm not so sure. Because I also hesitate about Richard Warren as like a genuine Jesus figure. I could definitely see him as, like, a perversion of a Jesus figure, right?
Sure.
Where he's like, he feels that he is sacrificing for these people, and to some extent he is sacrificing, but, like, is it for good? Is it for the good, right? Is it? Yeah.
I mean, he's sacrificing people, so it's not
Sure,
for the
right,
good.
right.
Like, if he was able to provide for everyone, none of them would.
Right.
have
He's not
to die.
sacrificing himself, which
No.
very importantly is what Jesus did, right?
Yeah,
But,
100%. Yeah. You're like, let's just be clear.
But also, you know, they kept referring to the plague, and I was like, what are the, like, biblical plagues, right? And so, like, I actually feel like they were, like, pretty deeply embedded in this.
Ooh.
The first biblical plague was blood.
Okay.
Okay.
And in the flashback episode, do you remember as Sarah is trying to flee with the children, the, like, plagued lady comes and she's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
she's, like,
oh, you're
covered in
right.
blood.
Yeah.
in blood. Then there are a lot of bugs and frogs. But then there's the hail as one of the plagues, which really, like, is not exactly the same, but really reminds me of the fog.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And then the 9th plague of 10 is darkness. And, like, in the penultimate episode,
Right.
they're, like,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
bunker
yeah.
and the power goes out.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
you're right. Yeah.
And do you know what the 10th plague is?
Is it?
Locust?
No, that is one of the plagues. I did look this up. Please don't think that this is just in my brain. It is death of the firstborn, and I'm just saying who has to die.
Oh shit!
Mind blown.
And I'm just saying, I feel like that's where next season is going. I feel like there
Right.
have to be these 8 sacrifices, and,
Yeah.
like, the last one's going to have to be Evan.
I think you're right, and I think the
interesting.
way they ended season 1 with that reveal leading us to that.
I will say I was not surprised at that.
I
mean,
know.
I called it like
I
six
thought it was gonna
episodes
be-
ahead of time.
I was like, oh, it's going to be him. And then they did the old lady. And I was like, oh, it's going to be her. And then it like left my brain. And then I was like, oh, it is going to be him. I was like, what a great little fucking red herring.
They did a fun little distraction.
They
there,
did,
yeah.
yes.
What I want to know is how come she didn't recognize that her homemade tea tasted a little different when he drugged her?
Maybe she
just-
did, but she was too nice and didn't want to say anything.
I don't know if what is it, like Vicodin and blood pressure medicine? I don't know if those taste like anything.
I like that you know this.
Well, that's what it was like. One of them was a blood pressure medicine. The other one was like it was
it
like
Vicodin?
a strong like sedative or something like that.
I guess that's true. It's not like cyanide or something.
Right.
Or
That's true.
arsenic.
Right. You know what those taste like?
No.
Okay.
I just assume.
I missed something.
Do we have any other analytical questions or thoughts or queries that we want to explore?
I, the whole time, wondered if they were going to reveal why it was called Widow's Bay.
Yeah.
I really did think there was going to be more, like, gender dynamics.
Yeah.
I really thought all the men were going to die. Like, I spent the first 3 episodes being like, the reason that there's that really old lady who's still working is because, like, all of the men who were alive when she was alive are dead.
Yeah.
But, like... And then there were a couple hints in the first couple episodes that alluded to that.
Yeah.
But then it just disappeared.
Yeah. Well, because it turns out that the curse is not related to like what gender you. Well, hold on a minute. The curse is not like no one of a particular sex must die.
Yes.
But it's like if you're born on the island, you can't leave the island.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
maybe there's an argument to be made that that's a curse that falls a little bit like it has different implications for women, perhaps, than it does for men.
In what ways?
As the typical giver of birth, I don't really know how to. The thing that this is a little bit tickling for me, and I'm not sure it's necessarily the same thing, but it like a little bit weirdly reminds me of Shirley Jackson's The Lottery. Are you familiar with this story?
I have never read it.
Okay.
But I have heard
So
narrative.
yeah, but you know what it's about. You know what happens.
I don't remember though.
Okay.
See,
For the listeners, give us a
yeah.
It's about a particular lottery in this kind of small, again, like another like small rural setting where I'm sorry, I'm just going to spoil it for you.
It's fine.
It's a great ending. So the town is gathering for their annual lottery, and it turns out what they do with the lottery is they're choosing someone to be sacrificed for like fertility, for like a good crop, you know? And it is like a deeply feminist story because the mechanism of the lottery is one that incentivizes women to have as many children as possible. So, like the way they choose, they have like a very particular way of choosing, right? I wonder if when we learn a little bit more about this curse, if there will be something a little bit more gendered in
like
its
the selection
implications.
process.
Yes, exactly. Because I do, and now we're getting a little bit into my predictions for the show. So, full disclosure.
We could shift
into like
predictions
talking
and
about
things
that
like
because I do want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, my predictions for the show are that it seems pretty clear to me that we have a Cthulhu beneath this island that demands a blood sacrifice. I do think that at a certain point in time, we will see a sort of Salem-y witch hunt going on for who will supply that blood sacrifice, right? We see early in the show, right, the New York Times reporter is looking at a large painting of witches that are burned, and she's very hilariously like, yep, this is a big point of pride for us. We caught them and burned them.
Yep. I know.
No, but truly, and I think it's going to turn out that Patricia is like descended from these people. So she has been like, her whole family through the lineage has been ostracized. It's not just that she is ostracized from this group of high school.
I love this, but like that her
people.
family were witches,
That
and
her
that
fam-
explains a little bit of the party too, and how
exactly,
she like,
right, and why she can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to figure out why she got spared by the boogeyman?
I think it has something to do with her witchiness. I think it has something to do with like her lineage.
Okay, I love
That's
that.
my guess.
I want to add, I put it as a question earlier. It's not really analytical, but I do think that video that we see in the hotel room, where it's like the guy is like, "Welcome to Widow's Bay."
He just walks away forever.
Let me show you around, and he just like fucking turns around and like
Walks away.
I love it. It's so unnerving, in the
like
weirdest
weird.
way.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm like, is he lead? That moment felt very lost to me, but I really hope that we like go back to it in some way, that there is something in that part of the island that he's like maybe leading us to. I don't know. Yeah, that's the only prediction I really have at the moment. I think the witches thing, 100%. I thought of that too. I think that we will see that. Oh, I do think also with the, I know we mentioned it earlier, but the projector in the I think that we'll get more, hopefully get more details about that. And maybe I'm kind of this is more maybe like a hope than a prediction, but some of the other decades, like we got like the 1700s, like that century, but like I'd like to see like, you know, that video, like was that from like the 70s or
think
something?
We'll see,
and like I kind of want to see different time periods of the island and like what that history was. But yeah, Kat, what do you think?
Na 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 na. That Evan has to die.
I love it. I love that you were like waiting
That
over
was
there
great,
to do it. Oh my god!
I think Evan has to die. I think that's the only way to save the island. I think that Tom so adamantly, when he presented the trolley problem to Ruth, she was just like, "No, I wouldn't pull it." And he was like, "What?"
Right.
And it's so funny because this is like a philosophical discussion of this problem is like huge.
Right.
And they both were very adamant about their
Yeah.
points. Like, we cannot imagine any other thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come down to Tom having to decide, like, do I kill Evan?
Oh gosh.
I think you're right, because Evan is young. He's a teenager. So this is like, unless he is dead, it's not going away anytime soon.
And
if he has kids,
Tom and Ruth are the only ones who know.
yeah.
Well, and Ruth doesn't really know the
and doesn't-
dynamics. Ruth knows he's her grandson, but she doesn't know, like, she's the last descendant of Richard Warren,
Right.
and
Yeah.
therefore he is. Also, I think that the brooch that he threw into the ocean is going to make its way back to him.
Oh, definitely. Should we rate? Are we ready to rate things?
we should rate it. Yeah.
I'll go first. I'm ready to give this a solid 8. I think that it is just such a joy. I think it's such an interesting thing to take genuine dread and terror and put it next to this very mundane style of comedy that's like, yeah, just all about the ins and outs of the day-to-day. I think it's just loaded with fantastic jokes. I love the Monster of the Week thing. It feels cozy and nostalgic for me.
Like X-Files and Supernatural, like
Super fun.
Yeah.
The only things that I would maybe change about it, there's one joke.
Oh,
A single joke. Like, if you could change anything about Widow's Bay, it is like only
I think
this
it's
one
really
joke.
just
seconds
one.
of the
For a
show.
while, I will say it didn't really successfully pull the wool over our eyes, Kat and my eyes, with Evan and like being the true descendant of Richard Warren. But there is also just one joke that I feel like I could make better.
I like that it's like not that you'd eliminate it.
No,
but
I
that
could just
you could make it better.
I can make it marginally better. Okay,
Okay.
you know Dale,
Dale,
like the
he's
funny,
so
the funny
funny.
looking guy in the office with the glasses. And
Yes.
when everything is coming to a head, they're in the storm shelter. He is sent to go find some card games or a board game or something, and that's how he uncovers the reel-to-reel of the sacrificial instructions, right? He comes back, and just as Patricia has gotten them to calm down, he goes, "We're all in a death trap, run!" Right? Amazing moment. I loved it. I just think it would have been ever so slightly funnier if he had found, like, a copy of Parcheesi or something first, and as he is screaming about this is a death trap, he still has the Parcheesi game in his hands.
Okay, that's pretty great.
I think that would have been great
That
for
is
me.
pretty good. That's such a minor.
It's so minor.
Holy
it's
shit!
It's such a great show.
Like, you're like, I want this prop.
I have no
It would have
beef.
bumped you
I
from
love
an
it.
8 to a 9 if Dale had been holding a board game.
Fucking Parcheesi, not in the show. Don't care. Mm-mm. All right, I'm gonna give it. It's hard for me. Okay, TV is different than movies for me because I will rewatch some TV, but I'll probably only rewatch this so that I understand what's happening in season 2 when it comes out. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. I loved it. I would recommend it highly. I think it's an extremely successful horror comedy. I would give it a 7.5. I'm interested in what it will do. I'm a little nervous that it's going to do the Lost thing.
Yeah.
But if it stays funny, maybe that won't bother me as much.
So maybe something to ease your concern is that the showrunner...
Kate Dippold?
Thank you. Insert editing here. The showrunner Kate Dippold has said that she has no interest in like stretching this out. Like she thinks it's like a 2 or 3 season thing.
Great,
and
love
then
it.
that's it. So like that to me speaks to maybe there is something of a plan for this. You know?
Yeah, more like knowing where it will go and maybe end as opposed to, oh, this is doing well, let's keep profiting off of it.
Exactly.
So yeah, okay, but yeah, 7.5.
I am a TV person. I find myself giving the lowest rating here. I was going to give it a 7.
Wow.
Oh, that's not that low though.
It's not that low. No,
Like very much passing, but it's like what doesn't
I generally like it.
generally I like it.
do, yeah, exactly. Generally, I do like it. It was funny. I had myself laughing out loud every single episode. I found it to be very predictable. Like, I feel like I called things.
Yeah.
Like, for individual tropes, I feel like I called them at the beginning of the episode. For, like, the big reveal of, like, Evan is the heir of Richard Warren, I feel like I called that, like, 6 or 7 episodes before it came out.
Infuriatingly ahead of time.
And wait, I do have to ask,
Obviously, it's Evan,
Wait,
guys.
when you guys watched this, did you watch it together?
Yes.
And
Yes.
one, did you say these things as you predicted them?
we
talked about it.
We have a little bit of a
okay.
protocol, though, I feel like, when we're watching shows, and, like, one of us has a prediction. We'll
We
sometimes
share
be
it.
like, hey, I have a prediction. Do you want to hear it, or do you want to see what happens?
I always want to hear
I think
it.
Kat always wants to hear
This
it.
is what
I
Tegan
always
and I
do.
do too.
Yeah,
I will say, like, last time I was on your podcast, we did not discuss. We like watched the movie twice, and I was like, I will not talk about it. I will be silent. With this one, I didn't know I was going to be on it when we started watching, and so we
This
just
is also
had a normal
so much
thing.
harder because this is like 8 or 10
Yes.
hours as opposed
Right,
to like
right.
an
That's
hour
so
and a
true.
half
Right.
of like a crappy Sydney Sweeney.
Anyway,
movie.
so I gave it a 7 because I found it to be pretty predictable, and like I feel like this is contradictory to what Harry liked about it, but like I felt that the monster of the week was sometimes so disconnected. Like, I feel like the Cthulhu idea of like there's this monster beneath the island, that makes a lot of sense to me. So then, like, in conjunction with that, why is there like a haunted hotel with like a clown who chases you in your sleep? And like, why is there this like boogeyman on the loose, like chasing teenage girls?
Totally.
And I guess
Valid.
I just am I have trouble accepting the whole thing when it's like there is this overarching story, but then also there are these like random things that feel disconnected. And I don't have high hopes that that's going to get tied together for me in the next season.
Yeah, I agree. I guess
agree
you're just
too.
not super sold by the Cthulhu is unhappy and it makes supernatural things happen, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I
you're
guess
just
not.
sold
Like,
by
I
that,
feel like if it was like all a series of just like weird things that happened on the island, that would be fine. But it seems like it was like 5 episodes of like weird things that happened on the island, and then it's like, actually, there's this bigger thing on the island, and that's what's really happening. And it's like, well, but what about the first half of the season?
It's like, it's truly an X-Files problem. It's
Right.
like, that's exactly
This
what
is
the
true.
X-Files
And
problem
I
is.
love the
It's like-
Monster of the Week X-Files
Totally,
because
yeah.
the overall arching mythology is
Yeah.
frustrating. But I agree with you 100% because if you have this like Cthulhu creature, which I love that idea, but then the monsters of the week are like horror movie tropes.
Right.
Like you've got the Fog, you've got Michael Myers, you've got
Exactly.
It, Pennywise.
Right,
So
right.
it's like, how do those tie in unless it's not a Cthulhu creature? And it's like Emerald City Wizard of Oz type guy, and he's just like cranking out like horror movie tropes.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't see that coming, but
but like I still gave it a 7. Like I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
When you were like, do you want to watch part of it again and talk about it on the podcast? I was like, yes, let's go. Like it passes.
It's solid. Yeah, it's solid.
But I'm picky.
Heard. I love that. No, I love that. I think that it's really refreshing to hear a voice that is like not resoundingly for it. Like, you know what I mean? So I appreciate your reservations. Before I go hottest, because I feel like hottest often kind of leads us away from...
Oh, critique and all those things. Yeah, agree.
Can we talk about what is your favorite episode of this season?
Okay, so I will say favorite episode is tricky because I wanted to rewatch a few. Mm-hmm. But as you guys know, but the listeners don't know, the internet in my house stopped working today, and I went in the cat... Okay, first of all, I call it the cat room. They will be out of the room soon. We have a dog.
You don't have to explain to our listeners.
I know, but I'm like,
they're like, your cats. It's like
store my cat.
Yeah.
Okay, so they unplugged the internet a lot. I was like, whatever. I'll go back in, plug it in. It's plugged in. I then looked at the modem, all the things. 2 cords completely chewed through. I was like, fan-fucking-tastic. So I spent 3 hours going back and forth to Best Buy trying to get cords. So I did not rewatch episodes.
Okay.
So the 2, though, that I wanted to rewatch, that I felt like stuck out to me and resonated and I like was drawn to them was the second episode in the hotel.
That was one of mine, too.
Right. I love that with the like clown guy and he's like looking at the board games, and I really love the one that just says teeth. It's like a fucking like...
No, those board games are so funny.
And it's like
there's
Run.
one that's like Daddy's Home, right? It's
There's
like,
one that oh God, I forget what it said, but it was like that thing you shouldn't have said. Like that. That's one of the titles. I loved that. So that one I wanted to rewatch. And then the other one I wanted to rewatch was the one that like I can't remember her name, but it's the one that takes place in the 1700s.
Oh yeah,
Sarah.
Because when it started, like the first time I watched the show, I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting, because I like when shows do that kind of thing and focus on other characters. So yeah, I think those 2 off the bat, but unfortunately, I don't have a lot to say about them because I didn't get to watch them.
No, that's okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything other than
favorite
you
episode.
Just liked them a bunch.
Okay, fair enough.
You know
fair enough.
Yeah.
Did we watch? Is the hotel episode? Did we watch that one? Is that the one I fell asleep during?
You fell asleep during it.
I was just too tired.
Yeah,
it's not a statement about the episode.
Yeah, it's a great episode. I love it. It's very shining-y. It's very...
Yes, it is.
It's, it's got like a lot of...
It's got a lot of
influence.
things.
1408 is another great...
Yeah.
Like the whole part where like the time in the room is really different, and they make the innkeeper go in there.
That's my favorite part of the whole episode right there.
I love that. And he just like...
But also I haven't... When we were talking earlier about like potential like feminism waves through this,
yes,
that was one of the bits that stuck out to me because he went in and he made he didn't go in, but he made the housekeeper go in and straighten up. And it's like, why is she able to go in but he won't go in?
That's interesting. Yeah.
And that was one of the things when I was like, when I thought the name of Widow's Bay was gonna like be something like related to feminism and a theme throughout the show. That was one of the things where I was like, oh, man, he sent her in, but he won't go in. Why?
It strikes me as a little bit of a class thing, too.
It's true.
Interesting.
And, it's not like everybody on the island super resists Tom's plan to, like, gentrify Widow's Bay, right? Mm-hmm. Like, because, like, that guy specifically is, like, very for the idea of bringing tourists. And so, like, it's... What I kind of appreciate is, like, it's complex, right? Like, people feel all sorts of different ways about it, too. But yeah, that is a really interesting catch. I didn't really think about that. That's cool. My favorite is it's called Beach Reads. It's episode 4. It's the one where Patricia throws the cocktail party.
Wait, hold on. Is this why you asked about beach things in the beginning?
Well, because it's like a beach town.
No, I know, but I mean, like, it's also your favorite episode.
I mean,
it's in the title.
It is in the title, but like, there's no beaches.
All right, fair enough.
In the episode, really.
Okay.
Well, when they go to the beach
at the end, I guess.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I also think it's a little bit in line with the like feminism. Like, I feel like I'm so glad that I'm not the only one who's like. One of my questions was like, are there feminist undertones in this show? And I struggled to like articulate exactly what they were.
I think there are.
I think there are, and I think there will be. I think that's.
I think there are. I think. Oh, wait, I want to hear more about your episode, but I do want to say I think there is like a patriarchal, satirical aspect to the season.
Totally.
That comes across in moments. Yeah. But yeah, okay, wait. Tell me more about.
Well, Kat, you have a thing.
No, I was just realizing that like it's Widow's Bay. I expect all the men to die. I thought that all the men were dying early on, but then that was the same first 5 episodes where it was like random monster of the week. But then Richard Warren killed his wife. Yeah. Tom, like a little bit, kind of killed his wife.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm just coming back to those parallels.
Right, just like widow as more of like a gender neutral idea rather than a gender specific one, right? It's not widower's bay, but like, no, I love that episode. I do think it's a feminist episode.
Remind me, is that the one with the
Patricia runs
party?
Like she finds a self-help book and it teaches her how to like throw the perfect party, and that's such a gendered idea, right? It's such a the idea of throwing the party, being the perfect hostess. There's parts of the book where she's like, she has to circle the features of her body that she doesn't like, right? It guides her all the way through this like incredibly gender stereotypical playing of a hostess. But it is ultimately this really empowering thing because she, like, through her hostess powers, totally subjugates all these people on this island and, like, almost leads them to their death, right?
Well, I want to say the book found her. She didn't find the book.
Well, that remains to be seen.
I also really like the fact that her bookmobile is called the Paddy Wagon.
The Paddy Wagon, yes!
It made me so deeply happy. But I also felt like that one of the tropes in that episode was like the unreliable narrator. Where, like we see everything through her eyes, and everyone's like, "Why are you wearing that on your head?" And she's like, "Me, my beautiful tiara. What are you talking about?" Right. And then at the end, we find out that it's like
it's the antlers.
Yeah.
Who's the hottest?
I was gonna go with Patricia. She is like the epitome of a final girl. She's like very innocent. She's very like virginal. She has survived all of these terrible things. She was attacked by the boogeyman as a teenager. She was attacked by the boogeyman as an adult, even though the boogeyman only comes after teenagers.
Right.
She, like, almost killed everybody, but then ended up saving everybody and almost sacrificed herself to do it. I gotta go, Patricia.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick the same person, but
you
I am
can
going to pick the same person.
Yeah.
Looking at the cast too, I'm like, I love that this cast is not all like quote unquote like TikTok model beautiful, like whatever.
Agreed.
Like,
yep. Everybody's kind of funny looking.
Yes, and I love it. I miss shows and movies like that where like people look like normal fucking people. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna pick her.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna pick her in the fucking antler hat. I mean, antler
yes.
tiara thing.
Yeah, that's fucking gangster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm really hoping you pick the person that I almost picked that now I'm worried that no one has picked yet.
I'm going to pick Ruth.
Yes! Of course you're going to... Oh my god.
He made a pass.
Ruth!
He made a pass.
And you wonder why so many people made passes.
Right, exactly.
Leaves you curious.
Ruth is so spry. I mean, she's so with it.
She's so funny. She's such a delightful, adorable grandmother.
Oh,
first of all,
my god!
And then they make such a big deal of how like attractive she was when she was like younger. And...
Oh, that's true. Because wasn't she like a? I don't know. They had pictures of her when she was younger, right?
Yeah. Well, that's like the whole. That's the whole joke about like he made a pass. She made a pass. Right? When Rosemary does the lineage, she like makes a big deal about like how good looking she was.
That's true.
I just think it's very funny.
Do you pick Ruth in the older
of
photos
the older days
or the newer days?
I like the newer days.
Oh,
I think she's spry. She's got it.
Yeah, you know. She's
flexible. She runs 2 miles.
She walks 2 miles.
She walks 2 miles. She has to go get a towel to wipe off the sweat.
But you saw her hop up those stairs.
I did, and she helps someone get up.
Friend.
Yeah, every day.
Mm-hmm.
She minds her garden. She's worried about her garden.
I love
rain.
it.
Like, it's great.
I love it.
I knew you were going to pick Ruth. I mean, I didn't know for a fact, but I guessed.
I love that you knew.
He was bitten by an animal and he became that animal. She just throws that line just out into the wind and just
She's
moves
got
on.
so
with her
many
monologue.
funny one-liners.
It's so good.
It's great
Oh my
because
God.
and Tom's face as she says these things.
Right?
So good.
Ruth, have you
What
ever
was-
heard of the trolley problem? You mean in the 40s when they tried to build a trolley but all the workers disappear?
No.
What about the
What?
car poster that she got for Evan's room?
Wait, which one was this? Wait,
So she has a room for Evan at her house. And when she's showing Tom around, which, sidebar, Tom, lets Evan stay there, but has never been to her house. I
Yeah.
feel like he's, tries to be such a responsive father, and he loses points there. But that's not the point. The point is, she's like, and this is where Evan stays. And there's this, really, dinky old picture
It's
of,
a lame...
a really
it's
lame car.
But it's such a funny poster. So it's a poster that's hanging over the bed.
And it's just, a white background.
It's a white background, and it's this really kind of lame car, but there's burnt donut circles.
Are there?
Yeah, the car's been doing donuts, but it's this it's like a
But
Subaru
it-
Forester.
Yeah,
It's
it's like a sedan from
God.
1993.
really lame car.
And she's like, I picked that up at a garage sale. Teenage boys, they love their cars.
Yeah.
It's just such a funny bit.
do
There's
not
so many
remember that,
good-
but now I want to rewatch that. Oh my god.
Do we have? Oh, here's a good game. Do we have a favorite gag?
I mean, Ruth's calendar gets me
Oh yeah.
every time. It's just chock full.
Very
But I think
full
what gets
calendar.
me is that she wrote the same thing on every single day.
Right. Help her
Deirdre
up.
up the stairs.
Help her
Help
down
Deirdre
the
down
stairs.
the
Yeah,
stairs.
yeah, yeah.
And then there are some days with other things, but that's the bulk of it.
I mentioned it before too, but I think the video in the hotel room is very
Oh,
funny.
it's so good.
And I rewatched that part again today, and I was like, "Oh, that is very funny. That holds up because
Totally.
it's ridiculous."
As somebody who grew up in like a dinky town, jokes about small town dinkiness hit for me.
Yep.
I really appreciate all of those moments. I think for me, so near the end of the season, Tom, he throws this tantrum where he realizes he has to make people go into the storm shelter. And he just he tries to throw this destructive tantrum, and he takes the calendar off his wall and he tries to tear it
Oh,
in half,
yes.
but it won't break. And then he tries to kick his desk, but he hurts his foot. And then he goes over to the wall where there's this enormous painting of Richard Warren, and he tries to rip it off the wall. And it takes him so long to do it, and he finally does it. But then it crushes him.
Yes, and somebody else has to take it
help
off.
him get out. It's this
Wait.
amazing illustration of his impotence.
Yes.
Trying to affect his surroundings. It's
Yep.
yeah.
He can't even have a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
I feel like you really liked the Tom calendar gags a lot. There's that calendar scene at the beginning. And we watched that episode twice, and it got you both times.
what's
Do
the
you want to describe it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's looking at his calendar, and he's flicking through his calendar, and it's a picture of a wolf, a picture of a wolf, a picture of a wolf, and then he flicks to 1 month, and it's just this it's this tipped over car. It's like a car crash. And he looks at that, considers for a minute, he flicks back to the cover, and it says wolves.
Okay.
That's the whole scene.
Right, that's the whole gag.
There's no
It's just
more to it.
His confusion about
Remember that at all. Oh
That's
my
the very
God.
first episode. Harry lost it. I think that was the moment this show had you hooked.
Yeah, I think so.
That.
It's just that little moment. Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Well, it sounds like we're clocking some interesting things with this show. It's as I said, it's just kind of a different thing for us because it is ongoing. It's not a
Yes.
finished piece, right? And so, I
That
wonder.
means we're gonna have to have Kat back for season 2.
Yeah,
Well-
sounds good.
well,
I was
I'm
going to say
wondering-
Scream wasn't a finished piece either.
Yeah,
That's,
exactly.
good
And
point.
it
Yep.
still isn't probably.
Yeah, no, they're still going. So we'll obviously have to come back and talk about
Season 2.
either season 2 or maybe when it's done, do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Ready.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to
Let's
see
go.
how these things develop. Kat, we ask our guests to soundbite us as we close out here. Can you give us something? She's looking through her book.
I wish I had written down what Ruth read from her cross stitch.
Oh, I got that for you.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Can that be my soundbite?
I was looking it up. Do you want the actual quote? Because
the whole thing. Is it a real quote or was it?
It's a real quote from Tennessee Williams. Yes.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Because it was real bad. And she was like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
She's like, I can't read that.
It was just like such a funny...
Like old lady moment?
Well, but it was also such a funny thing to have crossed... Like, cross-stitch.
Oh, yeah. Why would you cross-stitch that huge quote? Yes, you're right. Okay, go ahead.
The world is violent and mercurial. It will have its way with you. We are saved only by love. I can't read that. I can't write you that. We live in a perpetually burning building.
Perfect.